You are not the kind of person who causes problems. You know this about yourself the way you know your own handwriting. It is not a boast. It is just true. You show up on time. You finish what you start. You cover for colleagues when they need covering. You stay late without being asked, and you do not mention it the next morning because that is not why you did it. You are good at your job, not in the way people say when they mean mediocre, but reliable. Actually good. The kind of good that gets noticed quietly. That earns you the harder projects. The bigger accounts, the problems nobody else wants to touch because they know you will handle them without drama. You have been here 12 years. You remember your first day? The badge that didn't work on the third floor elevator. The manager who showed you where the good coffee was and told you to always CC yourself on anything important. You were 26. You had $3,400 in a savings account and a car. With a check engine light you were managing by not checking. You thought this job was a beginning. You were right. You just didn't know what it was the beginning of. The company has a name. It has a logo you have seen so many times it stopped meaning anything years ago. It has a mission statement on the wall near the elevators that nobody reads. After the first week, it has a culture, or something that calls itself a culture. A set of values, printed on a card in the welcome packet, that you still have somewhere. In a drawer at home. You believed in it once. Not naively. Practically. You believed that if you worked hard and produced results and treated people well, the institution would treat you the same way. That there was a kind of contract here. Unwritten. Understood. Real. For a long time, the contract seemed to hold. Year 3, you got a raise without asking. Year 5, a promotion that came with a new title and a team of 4 reporting to you. Year 7, they sent you to a conference in Denver and paid for everything, including the nice hotel you would never have booked yourself. Year 9, your manager told you during your review that you were one of the most dependable people she had ever managed. She used the word indispensable. You went home and told your partner what she said. You felt, that night, like the decision to stay had been the right one. You turned down another offer that year. A competitor. 15% more base salary, better equity, a title that was 1 level higher. You thought about it for a week. You made a list. The list said take the offer. You stayed anyway. Because of the relationships. Because of what you had built. Because leaving felt like a kind of betrayal of something you couldn't fully name. That decision will cost you more than the 15%. You don't know that yet. Year 11. Things change. Not dramatically. Not in a way you can point to and say that is where it shifted. It is more like weather. A slow pressure change. A drop in temperature you only notice because you remember what warm felt like. There is a new VP. He comes from outside. He uses words like restructure and optimize and right size in meetings. And nobody asks what they mean because everyone already knows what they mean. He does a listening tour. He listens with the specific quality of attention. That means the decisions are already made. Your manager is different now. Not cold. Careful. There is a difference. Cold is a feeling. Careful is a posture. She has stopped telling you things she used to tell you. Small things. The kind of informal information that flows between people who trust each other. You notice its absence the way you notice silence in a room, where there used to be noise. You tell yourself you are being paranoid. You have always been good at talking yourself out of the correct instinct. There are layoffs in Q3, not in your division. 43 people across 3 other departments. You get an email from the CEO that uses the word difficult 4 times in 6 paragraphs. You read it twice. You feel bad for the 43 people. You feel, underneath that, relieved that you are not among them. You do not examine that relief too closely. You work harder. This is your instinct. When the environment becomes uncertain, you produce more. You take on extra projects. You volunteer for the task force nobody wanted to be on. You write the report that was due Friday on Wednesday. You are demonstrating your value. That is what you tell yourself. What you are actually doing is trying to outrun a decision that has nothing to do with your value. Performance is not protection. You are about to learn this in the most direct way available. The calendar invite arrives on a Monday morning. Tuesday, 2:15 p.m. Your name. Your manager's name. A name you don't recognize from HR. No subject line. No agenda. No context. You know. You don't say you know. You go home that night. And you make dinner and you watch something on television. And you go to bed and you lie there. In the dark and you know. The specific quality of a meeting with no subject line. The HR name you don't recognize. The Tuesday afternoon timing. You have seen this happen to other people. You always thought there would be more warning. Tuesday arrives the way Tuesdays always arrive. Without ceremony. The room has no windows. You noticed that detail before you noticed anything else. A conference room on the 4th floor. You have walked past for 12 years without ever going in. A rectangular table. 3 chairs. Your manager sits on one side. The HR person sits beside her. There is a folder on the table. Your manager cannot look at you directly for the first 30 seconds. You notice this. You file it away. It will matter later, in a different way than you expect. The HR person speaks first. There is a phrase she uses. Role elimination. Not fired. Not let go. Role elimination. As if the problem is with the position and not the person, and the distinction is meant to make you feel better, and it does not make you feel better. She slides a folder across the table. Severance agreement. 6 weeks. Healthcare through the end of the month. A number for an outplacement service that will help you update your resume. A signature line at the bottom of page 3. Your manager says she is sorry. She means it. That is the worst part. She genuinely means it, and it changes absolutely nothing. You sign on page 3. You are in the parking lot. Your badge does not work on the way out. A security guard walks you to your car. He is not unkind. He is just doing his job. You put the box of desk things in the back seat. A coffee mug. A phone charger. A framed photo. Some notebooks. 12 years in a box that took 4 minutes to fill. You sit in the car, and you do not drive anywhere for 11 minutes. Then you drive home.